democracy. I took a bullet for democracy. He didn't. And I might have taken it because of their rhetoric. I might have taken it because of their rhetoric. Who knows? I withstood vicious attacks to pick and confirm 3 great Supreme Court justices, Neil Gorsuch, Brett Kavanaugh, and Amy Coney Barrett. They're great people. They're courageous people. We've also achieved what the pro-life movement fought to get. For 50 years, they've wanted to get this. For 50 years, they've been working so hard, getting abortion out of the federal government. They wanted it out. That means everybody, Democrats, liberals, Republicans, conservatives, they wanted it out, and they wanted to bring it back to the states for 51 years, to be exact. And that's the way everybody, all legal scholars, virtually everybody, they wanted it out of the federal government, brought back to the states. And now it's up to the will of the people in each state. It's up to the voters. They're doing it. And some states will be more conservative in what they vote for, and other states will be more liberal. I mean, Ohio, we love Ohio, but they voted quite a liberal law. Kansas, same thing, very liberal. Then you'll have a Texas and you'll have other places, but it's now being voted on all over. The people will decide, and that's the way they always wanted it. If Kamala Harris has her way, they will have a federal law for abortion to rip the baby out of the womb in the 8th, 9th month, and even after birth, execute the baby after birth. The baby is born. Remember the former governor of Virginia? He said, the baby is born. We sit with the mother and we discuss what you want to do with the baby. In other words, if you want, we'll execute the baby after birth. And they have laws, and they want to pass laws to that effect. These people are radicalized, and they're sick. They're sick people. So they're really, if you look at it, they're really the radical ones. And like Ronald Reagan, I strongly believe in exceptions for life of the mother, rape, and incest. I think it's very important. Don't forget, you have to go with your heart. But you also have to win elections. Very important. You have to win. So go with your heart. Do what you want, but you do have to win elections. We have elections that are very important to win. And if you don't do certain things, you're not going to win elections, and it'll be a very Pyrrhic victory. It'll be a victory that's not really a victory at all. But Ronald Reagan felt that. I felt that. Many people feel that. And we really did something that nobody thought was possible. I want to thank the 6 Supreme Court justices, Clarence Thomas, Samuel Alito, John Roberts, Brett Kavanaugh, Neil Gorsuch, and Amy Coney Barrett for the wisdom and the courage they showed on this long-term and very, very contentious issue. And getting it back to the states puts the question where it belongs with the vote of the people, and it's happening all over the country. You're having the vote of the people. And over time, it will all work out. It's working out at a rapid rate already. You know that it's going to, many states are voting on it now, and many have already voted. And sometimes, again, sometimes the vote will be as you like it. Sometimes it won't be quite as you like it. But our country can finally come together. This issue has been killing our country for 51 years. As soon as I take the oath of office, I will stop the Biden-Harris administration's weaponization of law enforcement against Americans of faith and against, frankly, their political opponent. No longer will their DOJ and FBI be allowed to target, persecute, or round up Christians or pro-life activists and throw them in jail for living out their religious beliefs. And that's what they've been doing. They've been doing that at levels that this country has never seen before. Americans of faith are not a threat to our country. Americans of faith are the soul of our country. All of you. You're the soul of our country. You built this country. You built this country. You really did. You built this country. From the moment I win the election, I will rapidly review the cases of every political prisoner who has been unjustly victimized by the Biden-Harris regime, so we can get them out of prison and back to their families where they belong. There's many of them out there. And that includes Paula Harlow, the 75-year-old woman in poor health who the Biden-Harris administration sent to prison for peacefully protesting outside of a clinic. You know that. You heard about that. This wonderful woman, and 75 years old. She's going to jail, and she's in jail. She's going to jail. She's going to be there for quite a while because she was singing religious tunes outside of a clinic. I will create a new federal task force on fighting anti-Christian bias. And its mission will be to investigate all forms of illegal discrimination, harassment, and persecution against Christians in America. The weaponization of law enforcement is the greatest threat to freedom in our country, and nobody knows it better than me. I think I know it better than anybody. The reason Biden, Harris, and their thugs are so desperate to stop us is that they know that we are the only ones who can stop them. We are the only ones that can stop them. This is a movement, Make America Great Again, MAGA, the likes of which our country has never seen before. And by the way, Christians have to vote. You know, I don't want to scold you, but you know that Christians do not vote proportionately. They don't vote like they should. They're not big voters. You know who else aren't voters? The NRA endorsed me very powerfully, strongest endorsement they can give, National Rifle Association. People that own guns and rifles are not big voters. They have to vote. If you don't vote, we're not going to win the election. If you do vote, we're going to win in a landslide, too big to rig. We're going to win in a landslide. But Christians, you know, you'll go to church every Sunday, and Pastor Paula White and all of the people, I understand, they're doing lockboxes in churches where people don't even have to go to vote. They can now vote in church. And if you do that, we're going to win by numbers that nobody's ever seen before. You know, you have tremendous power, but you just don't know that. But you have to use that power. Christians are a group that's known not to vote very much. You have to go out, at least this election. Just give us in, get us into that beautiful White House. Vote for your congressmen and women. Vote for your senators. We will change this country for the better. This country will be great again like never before. You got to vote. And I've said it before, and I'll say it again, November 5th, which is a period, really, because you're allowed to vote early. They have early voting, late voting. Everything is so ridiculous. We should have one-day voting, paper ballots, voter ID, and certification of citizenship, and that's what we're striving for. But voting actually starts on September 6th in North Carolina, a great state. We're doing very well there. I only say that when we're winning or going to win, you know that. I mean, it's just one of those little things, can't help it. No, it's a great state. North Carolina, September 6th. Then it's Pennsylvania toward the end of September, and it's various states in September, and then you have October, and you know, it used to be on November 5th you vote, but November 5th, meaning November 5th period, meaning this election will be the most important election in the history of our country. We're going to save our country with this election. So all of their persecution is only happening because I am running for president and leading very big in all of the polls, including big leads against Kamala. We have very good leads, you know, despite the fact that she came in as a replacement, a mandatory replacement. Joe, you're doing badly, Joe. We want you out, but I don't want to go out. I don't want to go out. You're going out, Joe. Do you understand that, Joe? You're going out, Joe. I don't want to go out. I won't go out. All right. If you don't go out, we're going to go after you with the 25th Amendment. You're incompetent. Everybody knows that, Joe. You know, I won my case in Florida on the documents, right? Joe had a much more, you know, I had the Presidential Records Act on my side. I was allowed to do, I didn't do anything wrong. He did, because he didn't have the Presidential Records Act. He lost his case, but the decision was he's incompetent. So he can't go to trial. So he's incompetent. Think of this. He's incompetent. He can't go to trial, but he's allowed to be president. So he can't go to trial because he's incompetent. He can't defend himself. but he's allowed to be president. What's that thinking all about? The radical left Democrats rigged the presidential election in 2020, and we're not going to allow them to rig the presidential election in 2024. We won't have a country left, right? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody. This is fun being with you. It's like a love fest. Tomorrow I'm going to be with the Bitcoin people. That's a little different. We cover lots of territory. No, but we love being with you. Every time the radical left Democrats, Marxists, communists, and fascists indict me, I consider it a great, great badge of honor. Don't forget, I've been indicted more than Alphonse Capone. I always use him because Scarface. He's the meanest guy. See the guy right up in the front row, this big, strong guy with the hat on. Stand up. Look at the muscles all over. Yeah, stand up. Look at him. If Al Capone had dinner with him and didn't like him, all those muscles wouldn't mean a thing. He'd be right now in the foundation of a building someplace. I've been indicted more than Alphonse Capone, but I've been indicted for you. I've been indicted for nothing. I protested a crooked election. That's what they indicted me on. But I've been indicted for you. And never forget, our enemies want to take away my freedom because I will never, ever let them take away your freedom. It's as simple as that. They want to silence me because I will never let them silence you. And in the end, they're not after me, they're after you. I just happen to be standing in their way, right? And that has never been clearer than it is today. If Kamala Harris gets in, she will be the most extreme, radical, liberal president in American history. Probably, I could say, politician. As a senator, think of this one. As a senator, Harris was ranked #1 most far-left Democrat in the entire Senate. And that includes Bernie Sanders. Do you believe that? She is more liberal than Bernie Sanders. I didn't think you could get more liberal. She's substantially more liberal. Remember, defund the police. I want to defund the police. Now all of a sudden she says, oh, I'm tough on crime. Nope. You always go back to where you came from. She makes Bernie Sanders actually look like a moderate. You don't want that. You can't have that. Look, we can't. We're not going to survive. I'll tell you what, if she does win this election because of whether it's cheating or any other way, it's impossible to believe somebody can say, let people come into our country. And I mean, these people that are coming in are rough. The only thing good about, they're so dangerous and so bad, they make our criminals look like very nice people. That's the only thing good about them. She supports free government health care for illegal aliens, abolishing ICE, decriminalizing illegal immigration. Do you believe it? Mass amnesty for illegals, banning fracking. No more oil drilling. We don't want any more oil. We want everything to be run by wind. We'll put a windmill on the top of our car. She wants to outlaw private health insurance. A lot of people have private health insurance. They want to keep it that way. It's phenomenal. She wants to defund the police, forcibly ripping guns out of the hands of law-abiding citizens. As vice president, she even cast the tie-breaking vote to cut Medicare by $237 billion, your Medicare. And remember, Social Security is going to be wiped out because she's going to put the illegals coming into our country into that system. It's going to wipe out that system. You're not going to have Social Security. You're not going to have Medicare. You're going to officially, we're close anyway, you're officially going to third world status. The Harris agenda is an agenda for national destruction. The Trump agenda is an agenda for national renewal and greatness. We're going to make America great again. On day one, I will seal the border and stop the invasion of our country. Since Kamala was appointed border czar, and that's what she is. She wants to take the name away. Oh, I don't want that name anymore. She loved it when she had it, but you know, she never went there. She never did a thing. I was with Tom Homan and some of the great people, Brandon Judd, the other day, and they were saying, first of all, they said, Trump is the greatest president in the history of the country. I should say that. And he was the greatest on illegal immigration, and that's true, definitely. But since Kamala was appointed border czar in March of 2021, millions and millions of illegal aliens have stormed across our borders. You know that. And they're coming not just from South America. That's the least of it. They're coming from Africa. You know, we had people coming in from parts of Africa. The Congo, 22 people from the Congo a couple of months ago. Where do you live? The Congo. Oh. What's your address? We lived in prison. What did you do? We refused to say. Oh, welcome to America. It's lovely to have you. They come from Asia, the Middle East. They're coming from everywhere. They're coming from all over, not just South America. They're coming from prisons and jails, mental institutions and insane asylums. And terrorists are coming in at levels that we've never seen before. You know, when I had the safest border we've ever had. Let me tell you, my border was safe. It was safe. Nobody's seen anything like it. And you know, one of the things I was most proud of, I stopped much of human trafficking, which has become as big a business as the drug trade. And they traffic in women. They traffic more in women than anything else. And they were afraid of us. They didn't, but they're not afraid any longer. Human trafficking, women trafficking, but human trafficking is way up. And you know, it's a bigger business than it was 100 years ago. You think of it almost as an ancient crime. It's not. You know what made it big? The internet. The internet's made it a tremendously big business, similar to the drug trade. Meanwhile, our crime rate is going up while crime statistics all over the world are plunging. You know, they like to say, oh, our rates are down. They're not down. They're way up. And we have a new form of crime. It's called migrant crime. We've become a dumping ground for the entire world. In Venezuela, crime is down 72%. I'm going to tell Charlie Kirk, I'm going to say, Charlie, next year, I want to have your wonderful summit in Venezuela. And he'll say, why? I said, because there's no crime in Venezuela. They put all their criminals into the United States. So I want to go to Venezuela where it's safe. Can you believe it? Do you know that Caracas, Venezuela, was one of the most crime-ridden cities in the world? Now it's safe because they've taken those criminals, they've taken those drug dealers, they've taken their prisoners, and they've moved them into the United States, large numbers, and the rest are coming. But they're not coming with me. We're going to get them the hell out of here, all of them. They're sending all of their criminals to us, all of these countries, all over the world. They're sending them to us. So you see numbers which are plunging all over the world because they don't have. Wait till you see, and don't forget, these people have just, you know, there's something about, you got to get used to it. They just got put here. They're getting used to our country. They're getting used to, we have the greatest law enforcement in the world, but we don't allow them to do their job. We're going to allow them to do their job. Otherwise, you're not going to have a country left. You're not going to teach a criminal not to be a criminal. Border Czar Harris will let murderers, child predators, and bloodthirsty rapists and drug dealers charge across our borders by the tens of thousands a day. I will throw the killers, criminals, and illegal aliens and gang members the hell out of our country, or if they're really bad, we'll put them in our jails. With your vote, we will begin the largest deportation operation. We have no choice in American history. We have no choice. Starting on day one, we will end the Biden-Harris inflation nightmare and make America affordable again. So we've had the worst inflation, I think, in our country's history. They say, sir, it's only 58 years. I say, I believe it's the worst we've ever had. The numbers are much higher than they're showing. What they're showing is through the roof. But the numbers are even worse than that. To bring down the prices of all goods, we will stop their war on American energy, and we will drill, baby, drill, right? Drill, baby, drill. You'll be drilling right in front. You'll be a driller. I will terminate the Green New Scam, and I will end the Biden-Harris electric vehicle mandate. We want you to buy electric cars, Elon, but not everybody. We will pass massive tax cuts for workers, and that includes no tax on tips. Is that okay? Do we have any waitresses? Do we have any drivers, any caddies? Do we, oh, there's one, look at her, she's happy. No, it's something we can do. Let them keep their money. You came all the way from where? Las Vegas, right? No, no tax on tips. Remember, that's a big deal. That's a big deal. You know where I got this? Not from a big consultant that charges you $2 million to write up a report that doesn't mean anything. I got it from a waitress having dinner. I said, how are you? At Trump in Las Vegas, beautiful Trump Tower in Las Vegas. I said, hotel. I'm in the restaurant. I said, how's everything going? To a great waitress. She said, not good. They're just killing me on taxes. I said, taxes? What do you mean taxes? Don't they hand you cash? No, actually, most of it's done on the check. She said, they're after us all the time. And now they just passed regulations to Biden where they go after. They could go into your homes. They hired 88,000 new IRS people. You saw that? 88,000. By the way, they're allowed to carry guns. You know, nobody can have guns, but they're allowed to carry guns. Can you imagine this? But 88,000. And she was saying how unfair it is, how horrible it is. And it really, you know, it's like harassment. And I said, you know what? There shouldn't be tax on tips. There will be no tax on tips from now on. And we'll get that done very fast. I hope you remember that. You better get out and vote. Before I even arrive at the Oval Office, shortly after we win the presidency, I will have the horrible war between Russia and Ukraine settled. I will get it settled. And I will prevent World War III. Nobody else is going to say that. We are closer today to World War III than we've been since the Second World War. We will restore peace through strength. That's what we had. You know, remember when Hillary Clinton, crooked Hillary, remember Hillary? She used to say, look at him, he will get us into war. Look at his attitude. I said, no, my attitude is going to keep you out of war. That's what happened. We had no new wars. Other than I defeated ISIS, but that was a war that was already started. I defeated 100% of the ISIS caliphate. In my next term, we will build a great Iron Dome missile defense shield over our country, a dome like has never been seen before, and it will be entirely made in the USA. A lot of it will be in Florida. A lot of it will be right here in Florida. Oh, you like that idea? Look at her. Yeah. Why shouldn't we? It's our technology. We know how to do it. You know, Israel, they had 300 rockets shot at it fairly recently. It knocked every rocket except one out of the sky. The other one was mortally hit and fell to the ground harmlessly. I say, why aren't we doing that? We're helping other people do it. Why aren't we building our own? And we're going to build it. And you know what the beauty is? We're going to make it here. It's going to be jobs and all that stuff. But somebody shoots a missile at us. We want to knock the hell out of the missile. We don't want to be landing in our cities. We're going to build it, and we're going to have it done, and it's going to be a lot of jobs, and it's going to be the most technologically advanced ever, even beyond what they have in Israel. We helped Israel with that. You know, Ronald Reagan wanted this many years ago, but then, in all fairness, then we didn't have the technology, not even close, but now we have an incredible technology. I will not cut 1 penny from Social Security or Medicare, and I didn't. Remember, I was the one that didn't. They are going to destroy it because they're signing up millions of people to go into Social Security and Medicare. They're going to destroy it. I will not cut 1 penny. I will not talk about 1 day or 1 year shorter. And I will not raise the retirement age of Social Security by 1 day, not by 1 year. We're not going to raise it at all. You can bank on it. You can bank on it. They're going to raise it. They're going to raise it way up. You'll say, you know, I'm getting ready to retire, but they just raised the Social Security age to 94. Kamala Harris will destroy Medicare and Social Security. She's destroying it. You watch. Flooding it with millions and millions of illegal aliens who she will turn into American citizens so that she can get the votes for the Democrat Party. What they don't understand is with the Hispanic population, I think I'm doing better than they are right now. Won't that be a kick for them? We're doing great with Hispanics. We're doing incredibly with our black population is liking Trump much more than liking them. Wait till you see what those numbers are. Because they like security, they like jobs. You know, all these people that are coming in, they're affecting more than anybody else the black population. Second, they're affecting the Hispanic. They're taking their jobs. All of these millions of people that are flowing in are taking the jobs of black people, of Hispanic people, and of unions. The unions are not happy. They're taking union jobs. We're going to rebuild our cities into beacons of hope, safety, and beauty better than they have ever been before. We'll work with Democrat governors and mayors. Every single city that's in turmoil and danger, you look at Chicago and you look at all of the different cities all over the country, they're all Democrat-run, every one of them, the top 25 for crime. What's going on with the crime. We will take over the horribly run capital of our nation in Washington, D.C., clean it up, renovate it, make it beautiful, rebuild our capital city so that it is no longer a nightmare of murder and crime, but rather it will become the most beautiful capital anywhere in the world. Right now, you go down, oh, let's go to Washington and look at the Jefferson Memorial. They want to change the name of that, as you know. Or the Washington Memorial, they want to change that name too. How do you figure we're going to change the name of George? I figured he was the one that was safe. I also figured Abraham Lincoln was safe. Nobody's safe. Nobody's safe. You know, we won 2 world wars out of certain forts, like Fort Bragg and other forts, Fort Lee, many forts. They changed the names of those forts. They changed their names. We left, they changed the names. No longer Fort Bragg. And the people in that area, they're not happy. But we won 2 world wars out of these forts. As an example, Fort Bragg, proud. We won 2 world wars. Let's change the name. On day 1, I will sign a new executive order to cut federal funding for any school pushing critical race theory, transgender insanity, and other inappropriate racial, sexual, or political content onto the lives of our children. Thank you. It's true. Save our kids is right. Save our kids is right. And you're right. Thank you. And I will not give 1 penny to any school that has a vaccine mandate or a mask mandate. Not a penny. And I will keep men out of women's sports, if that's okay. And as I did for 4 years, I will fully uphold our very important but under siege Second Amendment. It will be fully upheld. We will protect innocent life, and we will restore free speech in our country, and I will secure our elections. Our goal will be, as I said, one-day voting with paper ballots, proof of citizenship, and a thing called voter ID. You know, when you negotiate, and I do that with the Democrats, and I negotiate with them all the time on this, but I say, look, we've got to fix our laws on voting. We have to start with voter ID. Everybody has to have, no way! The discussion never even goes any further. I say, we have to have voter ID. It's called voter identification. Nope, we're not going to do it. Now, there's only one reason they do that, because they want to cheat. There's only one reason. Anything else, you know, in their national convention, when they had their convention, they have a voter tag on them bigger than their chest, depending on which chest we're talking about. Bigger than their, like this. Has their name, their serial number, it's got the whole deal. Middle name, past addresses, it's got everything. Otherwise, you can't get into the Democrat National Convention. But with voting, one of your most important things you can do, maybe in many ways your most important, they don't want to approve voter ID. That's because they want to cheat. But until then, Republicans must win. We have to win this election, most important election ever. We want a landslide that's too big to rig. If you want to save America, get your friends, get your family, get everyone you know, and vote. Vote early, vote absentee, vote on election day. I don't care how, but you have to get out and vote. And again, Christians, get out and vote. Just this time. You won't have to do it anymore. 4 more years, you know what? It'll be fixed, it'll be fine. You won't have to vote anymore, my beautiful Christians. I love you, Christians. I'm a Christian. I love you. Get out. You got to get out and vote. In 4 years, you don't have to vote again. We'll have it fixed so good you're not going to have to vote. In conclusion, America has always been a nation won, built, and sustained by Americans of faith. It was faith that led the Pilgrims to cross an ocean and settle this majestic continent. It was belief in our Creator that led the patriots to defend their liberties in the war for independence. It was faith in America's God-given destiny that pushed the pioneers to journey west. And it was trust in God that led generations of American believers to end slavery, defeat fascism and communism, and make this into the greatest and most exceptional nation in the history of the world. But now we are a nation in decline. We are a failing nation. We are a nation that has lost its confidence, its willpower, and its strength. We are a nation that has lost its way. But we are not going to allow this horror to continue. Less than 4 years ago, we were a great nation, and we will soon be a great nation again. With our leadership, every disaster Joe Biden and Kamala Harris have created can be fixed, and can be fixed quickly, and it will be fixed quickly. Every problem can be solved, and every wrong can be rectified. By this time next year, America's borders will be strong, sealed, and secure. Inflation will be in full retreat. We will have it in full retreat. It will happen quickly. Our economy will be roaring back. Optimism will be surging. The American dream will be thriving again for citizens of every race, religion, color, and creed. Law and justice will reign all throughout our land. Freedom will be restored. The flame of liberty will be burning bright. Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, the worst administration in the history of our country, will be a fading memory of the past. And our great silent majority, including the once forgotten men and women of our country, will be the one shaping America's magnificent future when I am the 47th President of the United States. Right? Because we are all Americans, and together we will show November 5th to be the most important day in the history of America. It will be the most important day in our history as a country. We are one movement, one people, one family, and one glorious nation under God. And together we will make America powerful again. We will make America wealthy again. We will make America strong again. We will make America proud again. We will make America safe again. We will make America free again. And we will make America great again. God bless you. God bless you all. Thank you. Thank you very much. God bless you. Thank you.